Hello, hello. Yes, good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear my voice and also see my screen clearly. So today is 12. This is the last day of the week. This is Friday. We'll start analysis with a chart on our screen. Let's see what we expect to be happening. So this is we were downwards the previous day. We were very much to the last side. Today you can see that my screen is somehow congested. There are a lot of things on our screen. We have this Bollinger Bands, the indicator, and then it also have stochastic. So we have this because we want to try and use them to analyze our charts, other than just look at the pure price action. We look at this to understand exactly what we expect to be happening. So if you did attend our webinar on Bollinger Bands, you're supposed to already have some ideas of what we are expecting now. We did mention that anytime the price heads above the upper band, then we expect it to drop back to the lower side. If the price goes to the upper band, we expect it to drop to the lower side. So as it is now, you can see that the price basically touched the upper band, but it came back and closed below. So what we want to happen now is for the other indicator, which is the stochastic, to support what the Bollinger Bands is doing. So when you see a sell on the Bollinger Bands, we expect the same sell on stochastic. So we want the stochastic lines to be above 80. At the same time, we want the Bollinger Bands to be above the upper line. So if that happens, if this happens at the same time, then we are going to sell it. So if Bollinger Bands gets above the upper band, at the same time the stochastic is above the overbought area, which is 80, then those are going to be the correct places where we want to trade from. So the next chart I'd like us to look at, I want us to look at GBP USD. So GBP the same thing applies. This chart I won't recommend a buy as it is now, because we already took a buy and the buy is continuing. We took a buy when this happened, while the stochastic, while the price was below the lower band, at the same time the stochastic was below 20. So we took a buy there. We are still holding onto that position. We expect price to continue up to the middle band. So if you're on this chart now, you're supposed to have taken a buy position from when this happened. We expect a continuation much higher up to this line, the midline. So hold on to the position, the buy position, expecting price to go at least up to this point. So as it is now, we are not going to sell it, although the trend looks downwards, but we just want price to continue up to the middle band. The next chart I want us to look at, we want to look at Euro USD. So Euro USD, there's no clear trend, there's no clear position. We took a buy while the price was below this level, was below, so the price didn't actually break below the lower band, but the stochastic was below the lower band. So we didn't take it. We are still not taking it even now because there's no clear position. What you can see is that the price is consolidating within some range. We have this and we have this. So this is like a zone where if the price can break beyond, then it's going to give us the correct place to look for a trade from. If the price breaks above the upper line, we expect a continuation to the upper side. If the price breaks below the lower line, then we expect a continuation to the lower side, at least up to this point. So expect a move up to 1.20909, where if the price goes below it, expect a continuation much lower at least up to this point. So the next chart I want us to look at again, I want us to look at SP500. This is upwards. I won't recommend a sell on this. It's upwards, and what I would expect now is for price to try coming back up to this point, the lower line. If the price can get to this point, the lower line, the price can attempt to break below the lower band, while at the same time the stochastic is below 20, then that will give us the ideal place to look for a buy from. So what we want is a combination. If they are doing the same thing, then we're looking for a trade. If both the stochastic and the RSI, and the Bollinger Bands are doing the same thing at the exact same time, then that's the correct time to look for a trade from. The correct time to look at a trade at. So the next chart I want us to look at is Brent oil. Brent oil so far, if you took a position based on the same strategy while this was happening, you can see that there's a time when the stochastic was actually below 20. At the same time, the price was below the Bollinger Band. So if you took a buy while that was happening, right now you should be in a loss now. But we still expect price to continue up. There's this first false trade, another false trade. This is a false trade. So we do expect a continuation at least up to the midline. So if you took a buy while the price was here, if you've not been stopped out just now, expect price to continue up to this point. But I recommend, do not let your stop losses float. Don't use a wider stop loss. It's very risky. Just step out. If the price goes against you by maybe some 20 pips, some 30 pips, just step out. If the setup is good, it will act instantly. So there is no point for having a wider stop loss. There is a level here. There's a level there. So this is like some good support. We have a support. We have a support. We have a clear breakout. As it is now, the price is basically below that range. So we expect a continuation downwards up to this point, 60.187. Does that make sense? So we expect a continuation to the upper side. We want price to pull back nicely up to this zone so that we pick ourselves from that point up to around 60.187. The last chart for the day is gold. So gold so far, gold looks like we are bearish. I'm not going to use the indicator for trade gold because there's no signal at the moment, but there's a level here where the price needs to pull back up to. It's like an area of consolidation which was broken. So we have this, we have like some zone here, a resistance, a break above, a break below, then we have this resistance, and there's a break below. So this may mean we are now downwards. Expect a continuation, a bearish move, at least up to 17.98, where if the price goes below, we expect a continuation downwards up to this point. Up to that point. So if the price can break below 17.98, then expect a continuation much lower, at least up to 1808.61. So thank you very much. That should bring us to the end of today's analysis. We'll meet again tomorrow on Monday at the center. Thank you. See you.